going to lead us in our invocation.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this season and the reason that we have this season. We just ask that each and everybody celebrates your birth as well as what you brought to this earth. We ask that you continue to bless all the activities of this Lions Club and all the members in it. And for those that are under the weather, not feeling well, we just ask you a special healing touch on them. And bless this food to our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
And Sharon's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Thank you, David, for filling in for us. Okay, I know we have some guests in the house. So, John, do you want to introduce your... Oh, here. John...
Right up here.
We also have
Yeah, you guys in poking.
bars back here, one for Steve Johnson and one for Ron.
You're the actual speed practice. I'm just your caddy.
Okay, we're going to let John introduce his guests.
Today's speaker, you might recognize the voice of Kirk Rowland, the sound of the Kelso Highlanders, many talents of the morning show. I think my cousin Joe always called in on the morning show, but and then Mickey Polis, the head basketball coach at LCC.
Thank you. Okay, and it looks like we have another guest in the house, too. Well, see, look at that. Look at that.
David
Munis.
Dave, it is so good to see you.
Welcome, glad to have you.
Oh, I forgot to give a
Okay, Penny, can you give us an update on the Sunshine Report?
Well, as he announced, there's two cards back here. One's for Steve Johnson. He had
Kirk, what
surgery
happened in
this morning.
Reno Station?
He did well. His son says his old parts look awful and his new parts look wonderful. And he should go home this afternoon. Wow. And then the other card's for Ron Stoppler, who we've been sending cards periodically to. He's not improving and things are kind of getting worse. That's about all I have on that update.
Okay, thank you. You want to take it away with our Happy Bucks?
We can do that. Happy life, Apple.
Thank you very much. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I know you all missed me terribly last week. Thank you, John Claypool. You're getting something nice in your stocking. The rest of you are getting bunions. Oh, let's see. So, yeah, the ongoing saga of bodily parts failing. I will tell you, this growing old thing is really, really not my best term. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, David. Yeah, just you wait, youngster. Oh, boy, I'll tell you, when stuff starts falling off, you notice it. Anyway, here we are. I'm 5 days healthy and only feel like I'm like 90 years old. So that's all good. Let's see, the good news is that yesterday when my son fell asleep driving out of SeaTac Airport. He only hit the person at 20 miles an hour, and it looks like it's going to total, for those people that have Santa Fe's, what do we call them, Hyundai Santa Fe's. Yeah, so, and 20 miles an hour, apparently a 2014 Honda Civic totals one of those cars.
Obviously, what's the better brand?
Yeah, right? Yeah, the Honda Civic has a bent grill. Weird. Little Sam seems to be all right. He was a little bit depressed, mostly because it wasn't his car that he was driving. He took a friend to SeaTac and was driving his car. So, yeah, right. So, in the saga of what goes on in the Palmer household, that one's going to take the cake for the week. So, I'm just happy that the two people who ran red lights in downtown Longview yesterday didn't pull a Carrie-Ann on me and push me any further out of my lane of travel than they did. So, I'm pretty much... Yeah.
Their grill is really dented.
Man, Eric, what? Did your Kiwanis membership fail? Is that what happened? Anyway, I'm just trying to get through this week without any more altercations. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Past President Cindy. President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions guests, I have some dollars here, 5. The first one is, we tried our sauerkraut this weekend. It turned out, so that's good because I have 36 pints of it. The other one, Keith and Cheryl came up to visit with us because his company had a Christmas party here in town. So they borrowed his boss's wife's car to drive up here. Okay? So fast forward to Saturday night, they're getting ready to go to the Christmas party. Can't find the keys.
I see that.
Keys swears up and down, he locked them in the car. We're getting ready to call the owners and say, send your AAA up here. We spent at least 2 hours looking for those keys. I mean, we went through my recycling bag from newspapers. With time, Lil couldn't find them, figured out we're gonna have to call AAA. We have a table that Jim and I sit and eat at. It's a table, a coffee table, but it lifts up so we can eat up there. Well, Jim and Keith were home alone, and Jim had it up because he was on his laptop. The keys went underneath that table in that little divide area. So Jim takes them to their Christmas party. We're sitting down to eat dinner, and there's the keys. They just popped out. But we did have a good visit with Keith and Cheryl while they were in town. Let's check my line.
Every Tuesday, except during the holidays. When we all started out, we had power here and it was dark here.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I'm happy that Sue is here. And she told me 2 weeks ago that she'd be here. So that's one of those. Number 2, I think I'm happy my brother's back at work. I am happy that I have not gotten the flu, but my wife has, and I am healthy. I am happy. I'm terrific. I say it over and over again. So I meant 4? Okay, alrighty. And I wish I knew who this guy was next to me. That's 5.
Lion George.
Thank you, Dale Fisher, fellow Lions and guests.
Mickey?
I guess I should introduce myself now. George Reader. I'll just be back in the Northwest, although I spent some time in Kansas City, Missouri, with one of my favorite people, my 11-year-old grandson.
I noticed when
My goal is to spend as much time as
back
possible
when I was at
with
LCC, it was
teenagers, teenagers.
most of them were, I think there were people from the 5 10. And most of them, there weren't too many local guys that played ball. All depends on what kind of talent you can get, I guess.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I know most of you probably won't remember this, but I can cite a time when Kirk Rowland was speechless.
No, she's married to
Before he was born, right?
That still well, Kurt?
He's doing good.
Good.
He retired, that's why he's doing good.
And this is tomato reports on how much they've grown by the end of the spring.
Doesn't like hometown radio.
Yeah.
The second happy dollar is that I'm going to go spend my time after the meeting today over at the Silver Star
Tony Patera.
and sample a little more of Fort George's vortex.
Yeah, they just went. He just passed away a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, Mr. Governor, Maryland.
Actually, I think he's a grandpa there.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and
Your
guests.
dad went to St.
I'm
Louis.
sorry I missed my cue. I was out of the room.
I remember when I was going there. Yeah.
Well, of course. This happy dollar is a good dollar because as Steve was concerned about me last week taking off on my own, I'm here today, so that means I made it back safely from spending a great deal of time with both sons, families, and watching an elementary Christmas program that was really stellar. So it was a great time.
And you stuck us with Steve.
Speaking of that, man, past District Governor Steve.
Well, thank you. She just can't stand it. She cannot resist doing it. I do not know. So it's a good thing you and I see eye to eye. I have two happy dollars. Oh, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, two happy dollars today, or one happy dollar. Had a wonderful time at the Breakfast with Santa with a fun group of Lions. We had what we would describe as overkill for help. We had more help than we ever would dream that we would ever have at such a work party. And now Ms. Camarda has a new skill. She is officially our pancake batter maker. And the last dollar, Sue, do you want to have a happy dollar or something? Okay. I'm going to pass the microphone to Sue.
I think it's just for the carbonation. Tasted all right.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, one thing I'd love to share, thank you Steve for the buck, because I was like, dang yeah, I should have brought something, because I do want to share. Well, I'm going to share two things, hopefully you guys won't charge me for it. The interest for next time. Yeah, on my Apple Pay. The first one is I'm just happy to be here. I know it's just been a wild year, and so I didn't get to be here as much. So I'm just always happy to see you guys and laugh with you guys and, you know, just be together. But the second one is I really loved how many of you got to meet my mother-in-law who came to Lions Club when she was in town. My in-laws are from Oahu, and they were in town, and that morning we were having breakfast and before work, and she's like, when is your Lions Club? And I was like, on Tuesdays. And she's like, so today? And I was like, yeah, but I'm busy. I won't be able to have a tour at that time. And she goes, well, I'll do it for you. And I was like, all right. So she really enjoyed it. She did say she got recruited for Lions Club in Hawaii. I think it was Al, maybe. That was the one that told her. So anyways, but she really enjoyed her time here. So thank you, everybody, for making her feel welcome. And I know she shared a little bit in the mic, too. So, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Moving right along, Ryan Gregg.
President Carrie Ann felt like gets a couple bucks today. The first one is I really enjoyed working the breakfast with Santa. And yes, there was a little overkill with the amount of Lions we had there working, but it was fun. And the second one, glad to see Dave Muniz here, whether you work it or not, Dave.
Yeah, that was short. Bye-bye.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy dollar. December 8th, a couple days ago, was my wife's and mine 45th wedding anniversary. Surprised she kept me for that long.
The pancake breakfast was really fun. We got up early. The grill at Grant's was terrible, and I don't even know how you guys managed to do what you did and put out the product that you did. It was difficult, but we had a really good time. It was very good. But and the sad dollar is the Christmas parade that we didn't do. Rick wanted to, get that going for us this year, and I don't know if everybody was busy or it was just short notice or what, but I think it would be a good thing to do, so maybe we can get that together for next year.
We just don't want to walk it.
Oh, never mind. Okay, one moment. What the heck is your title? You're entitled to recite, oh, you are a pass on chair. Reciting secretary for the world. Yeah. Okay.
King Lion, Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I've got a couple of happy bucks. My first one is my mother-in-law, who lives with us, turned 95 yesterday. She doesn't know that. And the other happy dollar is Irene Reinke is soon to leave Americana and go out to, what would I say, Somerset? I think sometime this week that'll happen.
And that's why your mother-in-law lives with you.
She keeps there.
Hello, sir. Past District Governor Mark Kelch.
President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests, I finally understand why they call us grown-ups. Every time you stand up, you groan. There's my weekly $5 donation. First, a sad dollar. Our dog's been having some health issues. We took her in for some tests, got results this week. She's in early stage kidney failure. Good news is there's actually prescription kidney food to feed them to kind of offset some of this, and then medications, so she may still be with us for a couple of years.
You on the grant list?
No. A little beyond our second dollar. Very good to see Kirk today. I listen to KLOG just about every morning, even if I'm in Kansas City, Missouri a year and a half ago. You can turn it on the app and listen to the local news, so I appreciate KLOG for that. Quote of the week from Nelson Mandela: "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." One bonus quote from George Carlin: "Some people have no idea what they're doing, and a lot of them are really good at it."
Hey, Mark, you could be on Kalon. You could be the quote of the week or something.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Mark, I think I got you a part-time job with Kalon.
You're the new co-host. Why you get up at 6?
Well, let's just get you up here so you can introduce our speakers and we can get that part going. So here's John Searing.
Thank you, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I'd like to introduce Kirk Rowland, and he's AD at LCC, voice of KLOG Radio, 100.7 on FM if you're interested. And he'll introduce Mickey Polis, who's the men's basketball coach at Lower Columbia. And here's Kirk.
How's this work? Speak into it? Is that what the mic is? You speak into it? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
Great to see the Lions, and thanks for the invitation back. Appreciate it a lot. And, Mark, thank you for the kind words on there. I've been here a long time. I don't know if I'm any good on the radio, but I'm just an old, they're just used to hearing me prattle on in the morning, and I love it. I love this community. And my other life as the athletic director at Lower Columbia College has been special to me as well. I'm in my 24th year. Thankfully that George, in his time on the board, he didn't say, no, that guy's got to go. He allowed me to continue to do it. And I appreciate this club because it's one of the great local clubs. You folks do so much for our community, and I really appreciate it. And when it came time to hire a new basketball coach, about 8 years ago, I think it was, we had like, we must have had close to 75 applicants for the job. And that was kind of a testament to Jim Roppler, our former coach, who was so successful and retired. And we had guys that were Division I coaches at the highest levels. For some reason, I guess they were on their way down on their career and thought Lower Columbia College would be a good career move for them. But throughout the whole process, I kept thinking, I'm going to shop local. And I hired this guy right here. Unbelievable. He's a legend in this area. Mickey Polis, many of you probably know his father, Mike. Mike was kind of an infamous legend in RA Long lumberjack lore and Lower Columbia College lore as well. But Mickey was a great player and person at Mark Morris High School and led the Monarchs to some of their greatest victories at the state tournament. And Mickey came to Lower Columbia. He stayed local and played 2 years at LCC, and great success. Boy, we got deep into the tournament, darn near won it 1 year with Mick on our team. And what we try to tell a lot of our recruits is you can come to LCC and achieve your dreams at the highest level. What did Mick do after his 2 years at LCC? He got recruited to be a point guard at Portland State University. And in Mick's 2 years at Portland State, they made the NCAA tournament. Yeah. They had no chance in that first round game, by the way. I believe 1 year you played Kansas. I think they were ranked #1 in the country. Who'd you play the other year? Xavier, they were real good as well. And but Mickey played in both those games, hit threes in both those games. So when he's recruiting guys, he can say, hey, listen, what are your dreams? What level of basketball do you want to play? The D1s aren't talking to you right now? Well, come to Lower Columbia. And so I'm just so happy that Mick has come here to Longview, continued to make that his home after going away and getting coaching experience. Mick and his wife, Jessica, will be having their first child here in this spring. So we have a recruit now for the class of 2040. I went to Mark Morris, so math's not my strong point. But anyway, without further ado, just really proud of this guy. We've won 5 consecutive West Region championships because of this person right here, and that is Mickey Polis.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you having me out here today for this event. Real excited to be here. I want to start off by telling you a little story of my first road trip as a college coach. So we're going down to play in Eugene down at Lane Community College. It's a 3-day tournament, and I'm kind of excited. I'm pumped up to ready to get out there and get on the road and play a couple teams. Got to get everything set up the day before. So we're driving down there for the game. We get to the game. We're about ready to play. About an hour before the game, I have some guys come up to me and go, hey, Coach, we don't have all of our uniforms. And I'm like, what? And yep, lo and behold, I go in the locker room, and we had all of our red tops, but we didn't have all of our red bottoms. So we had 6 shorts. And so I went to the other coach. We had all of our white uniforms, but so I went to the coach for the other team, who was the home team at the time, and they said, I asked them, hey, can you guys switch to like your blues? And he's like, no, we can't. We don't have our blues right now. All our blues are back home with the players, so we can only wear whites. So we had to go into the game. I went and kind of huddled up with our coaches on how we were going to do it. We were going to play with the 5 players that were in the game. We're going to wear red, our whole uniforms, the red tops. The one guy on the bench was going to wear red. Everybody else was going to wear white bottoms. And during timeouts or whenever I wanted to sub somebody in, they were going to have to go in the hallway. Yes. I kid you not. And switch uniforms. So thank the good Lord, Ed Ernest, who's our trainer and other assistant coach, he was helping me facilitate moving. Yes, it was not fun. We were down by 20 points in the first, I think, 10 minutes of the game. Luckily, we came back and we won the game. So, yes. But what I learned from that moment is I am not in charge of packing anything, because it was my job to pack all the uniforms and I couldn't do it right. So my assistant Alan Brown now does all of that. So yeah.
I was questioning the hire at that point right there.
So no, I'm born and raised here in Longview, Washington. Went to Mark Morris and got to play for an incredible coach in Bill Backamus, and congratulations to him on his retirement here. But got to play for him for 4 years, got to do some really, really cool things. Got to play in a state championship game my senior year. Got to play with some great players. And then I was lucky enough to stay close and local, and I got to go play at Lower Columbia College and got to play for Jimmy Roffler, who was actually my neighbor for my early part of my life down the street on Hudson Street near Olympic Elementary School. And got to play for him for 2 years. The year that I came here was the year they had just won 2 NWAC championships. And I came here the year after, and we went 32-2. I think it was 32-2. We lost in the championship game to a team we had beat twice during the year. So we were 1 game away from winning 3 straight NWAC championships. And still a heartbreaker. I then got to play on the baseball team with Coach Kelly Smith that year, and we got second in the baseball championships. We had the bases loaded. This is an infamous story here at LC. Sorry for bringing it up. It hurts for me too, because I had a chance to win an NWAC title, but we had the bases loaded with our 2, 3, and 4 hitters up, and we went strikeout, strikeout, fly out. They scored 2 runs the next inning. We lost in the championship game. So, yeah. Doesn't it sound about right, doesn't it? Yes.
No trades, Terry.
So in a 2-year span, we got second 3 times in 3 sports, in the 2 sports that I played. So, but after playing at LCC, I went, like Kirk said, I went and played at Portland State University and got to play with some really, really cool players. I don't know how much of a piece I was, but I was part of it. The guy I played in front of, I'm 5'8". If you can believe this, there was a guy who was 5'6", and he was the MVP of the entire Big Sky Conference. Wow. He was amazing. I think one time in practice, I think he put like 15 points on me in like 3 minutes. He was amazing player. And but we were the shortest backcourt for sure, 5'6" and 5'8". And got to play with him for 2 years. I also got to play with a young man named Julius Thomas. He was my roommate for a couple years. Julius actually played in the NFL. So you remember when Peyton Manning threw all those passes that one year? He was the tight end for the Broncos for a couple years. So I got to room with Julius, but we had some other really, really good players as well that I got to play with, and it's how I kind of got started into coaching. I got to coach for 4 years at Portland State, be on the staff, and really kind of lit my fire about wanting to help young adults and young men, and wanted to get in the coaching ranks. So did that for 4 years. Then I was able to move on and go coach at Linfield College down in McMinnville for 4 years. And then when this job opened up, it was my dream job. I wanted to come back here. So I've been away for 10 years, and thought it was about time to come back. And so it's been great ever since. So I was doing some research on this. I think this is the coolest stat around, okay? For the last 52 years, LCC men's basketball has 4 coaches. So dating back to Gary Ernest, back in 1972. Then it was my dad for a time in the 80s, and then Jimmy Roffler, who has a large chunk of that, and then me. So we've had 4 coaches, yep. So really cool. On top of that, my dad played at LCC for Don Porter. Jimmy played for my dad at LCC. I played for Jimmy. So I think the next person's going to probably play for me. So, yeah, I think so. This season is an exciting year for us. Like Kirk said, this is my 8th year. The last 5, we won the West Region Championship, which is an amazing honor, and kudos to our program and to our guys. This year we're starting out, we're 8-0. We won the Red Devil Classic, the other weekend when we played over Thanksgiving. And then we've got 5 games in 7 days coming up. So we played Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we're traveling down to California. We're going to go down and play Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So it's an exciting year. We've got a lot of local talent on our team. I've got a young man from Mark Morris. I've got a young man from Ari Long, Kelso, Richfield. We got a WF West and a Napa Vine this year. We've also branched our wings out a little bit. We got somebody from Portland, Tigard. I got a Tacoma. We've also gone into California. Got a young man from Arizona and 2 from Vegas. So we are tall. We're 6'9", 6'8", 6'8", 6'7". We got a big group, which is helpful for us because in basketball you got to be tall. Can't have a bunch of 5'8" guys playing. You just can't. Yeah, you can have one of them. You can't have a bunch of them. You can't have a bunch of them. So we've got a really good squad. I got 6 sophomores. I've got 9 freshmen, 4 redshirting for us this year. And it's a good group. We have the length, we have the size, we have the quickness, we have the maturity that you need in order to have hopefully win an NWAC championship. And but for us, it's about trying to get better as the season progresses. And we've started out well, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue to do well. We want to keep adapting, and we want to keep advancing what we need to do in order to get better. And so these last couple weeks, we had about a week off from our last game, and we're trying to implement some new things, trying to do some things to get better. And so it's an exciting time for us. The West region is really, really good this year. We've got Tacoma and South Puget Sound and Highline and Green River. And we want to be one of the top 4 teams in our West region. And if you can be one of the top 4 teams, you have a chance to go win an NWAC championship, which is what we really want to do. We want to try and win a championship. We want to try playing our best basketball down the stretch. So, yeah, as a coach, it's, as anything with any job or anything you do, there's challenges. And the one challenge that I get a lot with our players is I have a lot of young men that come from tough home lives, tough upbringings, and helping them, guide them through kind of the collegiate kind of process. A lot of them have never seen what a FAFSA is. They don't know how to get a rent, pay for rent. They don't know how to buy books. They don't know a lot. So we are there, and what I've noticed is we get to walk them through kind of all those processes. So one of my coaches, when I first started out, his name was Tyler Geving, and he brought me into his office, and this was when I first started out at Portland State. He came to me and he goes, "Mickey, if you want to get into coaching, you need to understand something, okay? 80% of your job as a coach has nothing to do with basketball. 80% of what you do has nothing to do with X's and O's or scouting or any of that stuff. It's about off the court stuff. It's about helping them in school. It's about helping them become adults." And he was so right, because probably 80% of my job has nothing to do with actually coaching. It's about helping them find a place to live. One of the hats I tell Kirk all the time, and he knows this, you have to wear a lot of hats as a coach. One of my hats is I'm a real estate agent. I have no idea how to be a real estate agent. I know nothing about it. We make a couple phone calls, but some of these guys that come in, they have, we recruit them, but then we have to help them find a place to live in. It's difficult at times. That's probably one of the harder things. I'm also an advisor. I'm a psychologist. You name it, I am it. And because a lot of these guys coming in, they don't have that support system back home that they need. I'll give you for instance. I had a young man just the other day. He hurt his tooth in a game. He has no health insurance, 0. And we have some secondary stuff, but it's kind of tough and it's difficult to kind of navigate all that. And come to find out, he has never been to the dentist, ever. And so luckily we were able to hook him up with a local dentist in town, and they were able to help fix him, but he had to get a root canal, he had to get a crown on him, and you can imagine what that bill would cost. And luckily they were able to waive some of that stuff. But that's the kind of students that I'm working with each and every day. Not all of them are like that, but we have to do a lot of hand-holding with our student athletes, and especially some of ours that don't have the support system back home. So, the other big challenge for us as a JUCO school is that you've got a lot of agendas from some of these players. I'm sure we see a lot of it now with college athletics, NIL money. Everybody's wanting their $500,000, their $1 million, and our guys see that as well. And so trying to get all of our guys to be rowing in the same direction, understanding that when the group succeeds, all of our individuals will succeed as well. So that's a difficult part of the job, but it's also very gratifying. I think we've had in the last 10, 15 years, since I've been there, the last 8 years, we've had a really good graduation rate. We've had a lot of guys come through that normally wouldn't have graduated. A lot of times some people, they get the athletic kind of vibe of, well, they're only here to play basketball. Yeah, they're only here to play basketball. But while they're here, let's help them get a degree. Let's help them better themselves. Because if they aren't playing basketball, they're not going to school. They're not bettering themselves. They're not looking to get jobs. They're just kind of on their own. And so we try to help them through kind of some of that process. And as you can see now with colleges now, it can be a little daunting, that college process and getting through all that stuff. And especially with rise of tuition and everything, it can be a lot. So, yeah. I love my job here. I love working for Kirk. Our athletic programs have been awesome. I know we've won it for the last 3 years. 3 years. We won the President's Cup and the Athletic Director's Cup. The Athletic Director's Cup is based on performance on the court and the field for our 6 sports. We were the best in the entire NWAC. On top of that, we have a President's Cup that also details out kind of graduation rates and making sure guys are eligible and all that stuff, and it's more of an academic award. We won that as well for the entire NWAC. So there's only been 3 teams, 3 programs that have ever done that. We've won it all 3 times. We're the 3 schools. Or excuse me, we're the 1 school, but we've done it 3 times. Nobody else has done that. Both won the Athletic Director's Cup and the President's Cup. So a testament to Kirk's leadership, a testament to our coaches that we have here, and testament to our administration at LCC that understands the importance that athletics brings to our community and to our institution. I know your group does does a lot with our foundation. I would highly, this is my plug, please continue to support our LCC Foundation. They do such a fantastic job of helping all of our students, not just athletes, but everybody. I would also encourage you, if you have a chance, try to become a LCC Booster Club member. And then lastly, see if you guys can come to games. One of the things that's really cool about LCC athletics is actually we get a crowd. We go play at like Highline or Pierce, or we go play at Centralia. Nobody comes to the games. Like we get more fans than they do. But when people come to watch us play, it is packed. And when it's packed, our guys feel it. They feed off that energy. And it just makes it a more enjoyable experience for all of our players. I actually use our film, and when I recruit players, I bring them in, and we watch film of actually like our games being packed on both sides of the floor. And I think recruits like that. They want to go somewhere. They played in front of high school fans and big crowds, and they want to do that again. And sometimes you don't get that at junior college, and we get it here at LCC. So please, if you have a chance, come out and watch us play, watch our other sports play. We usually play in January and February. We play on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So our girls team plays before us, and then the men's team plays after. So, yeah. Any questions? Yes?
Does the portal bother you guys at all?
Yeah. Well, it's just funny that you bring up the portal, because there is actually a bunch of lawsuits right now that are going on. And one of the lawsuits actually is whether or not junior college will actually count towards NCAA eligibility. Yeah. So there is some talk about having junior college not count towards it, so there could be some more opportunities to maybe get some better players. The portal stuff, yeah, we definitely are a part of it. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we got a young man a couple years ago. He was at another national junior college, and we kind of got him back. I actually have a young man on our team. His name is Cap. Cap Lila. Absolutely. So Cap is is a cool story. He played at a local high school in Portland, Franklin High School. He wanted to go play at University of Portland, but he went to school, just school, and then he went and tried to walk on there. Well, when he got there as a student, they changed coaching staffs as a freshman. And so then when he tried to walk on, they didn't have any spots for him. So then the next year, which is his sophomore year, so that's last year, he tried to walk on again. Well, they didn't allow him to walk on, but they allowed him to be a manager. And was there for a year, wanted to continue to, wanted to try and actually be on the team this next year, and the coach said, we don't have any room for you. So in August, literally, I think it was August 10th, I got a phone call from my assistant saying, hey, there's a 6'8" kid that's pretty good. We might want to take a look at him. And he came to an open gym. We got on a phone call with him, and within about 2 weeks, we signed him to a letter of intent. And so he is a 6'8" freshman who's got 90 credits from Portland, University of Portland, and he's a freshman, eligibility-wise. So, yeah. So to answer your question, yes, we definitely look at the portal a lot. We have to, absolutely. Yep.
Maybe by the age, a comment rather than a question. I've been a fan of Kirsch for a long time. JM and the AM, and then as the most successful athletic director the conference has. As you mentioned, both athletics and academics. This was wonderful. And I was sincerely delighted when he hired you. And thank you for it. I just want to share one memory I have of you that is burned in my brain. I used to always sit across from the team because I like to watch Jim be so engaged.
Yeah. One way to put it.
One of your tie was going to land. And one time you were bringing the ball down after apparently a defensive screw up on that end, and you got up and you started shouting. You were bringing it down, and you looked at him yelling at you, broke eye contact for just a moment with the shooting guard on the other side of the court, and threw the ball completely out of bounds because he broke for the basket. And needless to say, it didn't settle him down a bit.
Hey, there's an art to playing for Coach Roffler, for sure. Absolutely.
Terry's got a question.
Yeah, that portal question stuff like that, I gather you don't pay big players to come to your school with scholarships or anything like that.
Not yet.
Not yet, or not under the table, but whatever.
Don't do that.
Do you have, does a guy, if they're wanting to lead a program and get some money somewhere, do you help them at all like that, or is that all up to them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the situation. I mean, there's some students that come for us for 1 or 2 years and have some eligibility left at the junior college ranks, and they go transfer to another school, and we usually, I mean, I've never really blocked anybody from going anywhere or anything like that. Most of the guys that come in our program, and this is why I think we've had a lot of success, is I have had a lot of guys like leave our program. Like, I have a lot of guys that actually stay for 2 years, sometimes 3 years. And that's a huge bonus for us because you go to some other schools and they have an entirely new team every single year. And so to build that camaraderie and kind of togetherness, and the sophomores from 1 year teach the freshmen from another year, and then those freshmen become sophomores, and it starts to become kind of and that's why we don't really have like 10 freshmen and 2 sophomores. We try to have a balance there, so 6 and 9, and so yeah, we try to do some of that stuff. But yeah, the portal is it is what it is. I think it really I think it hurts a lot of guys too, because a lot of guys do get in the portal, and then they never get anywhere. They kind of peter out, to be honest with you. And so I'm lucky. This last year we had some guys move on and play. Kobe Parlin, who was at LCC for a year, he was at Mark Morris. He's at Central Washington. I just saw the game the other night. We have no Western Washington Vikings in here. One, they got you. They got you tonight. Yeah, Kobe's finding his way over there, and I think he had a big 3 to put him up by 2, and he had a big charge, big rebound. So real excited to see how Kobe kind of progresses. Carter McCoy, who's from WF West, he's out at Rocky Mountain College out in Billings, Montana, and he's playing double digits, getting a double-double. So yeah, so we're able to kind of keep moving guys on, and we'll have a large group of our guys move on from this year's team. Yeah.
I get asked on that name, image, license thing.
That was my next question.
Yeah, and they always say, well, is that with you guys now? And I go, well, we are not promising any money to any recruits, and the first time an athlete walks into my office and goes, hey, I just cut a deal, I got a free car at Bud Clary Chevrolet. Yeah. My response is going to be, way to go, son! But I'm not going to get involved in that. That'll be for the next guy.
I was thinking, recruiting Mickey at Polis, that name and his image and likeness should have gotten you a big bonus when you came. Tell us he gave you a big bonus.
Mickey's selling t-shirts with his face on it after the meeting.
Big bonus and community college athletics do not go together.
I do have a question for either Mickey or for Mr. Kalog there. Is there a reason why, LCC baseball and basketball has been good for a very, they were good back when I was there. I majored in pinball. I got pretty good at it.
Was that the El Dorado?
Yeah.
Remember the El Dorado?
Yeah. I told Kirk that, okay, we used to go on, KLOG used to sponsor, if you signed up for their advertising program, you got to go a free trip to Reno. So I told him I won't bring up anything in Reno because what happened in Reno stays in Reno.
No doubt.
But is there a reason why LCC's always had great basketball teams and baseball teams?
People. Higher.
And volleyball, don't forget
Volleyball's awesome. We are really good in volleyball, and all 6. And guess what? Hal will love this one. We're a soccer school now too. Yeah. All 6 of our sports are incredible right now, and it's people. It's because our administration is allowing our coaches to have a livable wage with a job that is tied to their coaching position, and that's why you get someone like Nick Polis to come, and Lucas Myers, our women's basketball coach. I call him the highest paid guy in our program because he's the head of the biology department at Lower Columbia College also. And just 6 of the most solid head coaches you can ever get who understand the community. They recruit good kids. They're not willing to sacrifice expectations and quality just to win a couple of games. And as far as my role in it, get out of the way. Put great people in their job and then get out of the way and let them flourish. That's how it works. It's working.
Yeah. Thank you.
We got a pinball team. That's still pretty good.
The El Dorado, Reno Sweet guys would pay Steve Sweet to keep the pinball going while they went to class. Johnny was the guy that was still there.
Very informational. Mickey, I'd like to give you our Longview Pioneer Lions
Thank you.
Beverage. We're going to call it a beverage mug for you. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I've got one, so I'm good.
Okay, all right. You guys can always fight for it later. I have a couple correspondence. One is a thank you card from Marnie, and she is here today, so it was very good to see you here, Marnie. And we also received a thank you note from the Longview Parks and Recreation for being at the lake for trick-or-treating. And then we also have a thank you holiday card also from the Lower Columbia College Foundation. Lastly, we have a thank you from Red Canoe for our donation of $1,500 for sponsoring the veteran. We did that on our flight. I was trying to find that in here. So we sent one veteran with our donation on the honor flight. I just want to tell you, next week, John has the Tote Maritime Alaska coming as our speaker, correct? Yes? And then, hopefully you have already marked your calendars. We are not going to be here the following week, and we're not going to be here the following week after that. So you guys get a 2-week vacation from me. And we have a couple of announcements. So Sharon, you want to give us your announcement?
Thank you, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions and guests. I just want to remind everybody about our Thursday night meeting. That's going to be Thursday, December 19th, I think I have that right, at Ashtown at 6 p.m. And I have lined up Janice, J-A-N-U-S, Janice Youth Programs of Cowlitz County is going to be our speaker. So if you guys have some time, head on over and have something to eat or a drink and join us. And also, if anybody did not get a chance to sign up for the Christmas party and you're planning to attend, please sign up. So this is their final head count, so I can send us my shopper out shopping for our food for that. And there's also, if you still want to buy a present for the family for the Salvation Army, I have that list too. And if you did sign up already and have not returned your presents, the deadline is at the Christmas party, Friday the 13th. I will be turning everything in next Monday at the 16th to Salvation Army. And thank you everyone for all that you've done for the family.
President Carrie Ann, Lions and guests, just to add on to the party on Friday, we're going to be doing a white elephant gift exchange. So if you want to participate, make sure you bring a gift for each person that's going to participate. $10 or less, you could re-gift something from the house, could be a gag gift, it could be lottery tickets.
How about Hal Palmer?
Could be
Bring Hal Palmer.
a couple of bucks, whatever.
I have a picture of George Reader when he had hair.
Remember, if you're going to participate, make sure you bring a gift for each person.
Yeah, Pat, when you get that cut, you should give it to your brother.
Let's go to David.
Here we go. President Carrie Ann, my fellow Lions and my fellow guests. Speaking of the Salvation Army, we have one more shift that needs to be filled from 12 to 2. Apparently, we need a replacement for Gunner. Again, oh, I'm sorry, check that, Eric. Let's start again. We need a replacement from 12 to 2 for the shift for Eric.
Which day? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow from 12 to 2, Wednesday the 11th. Thank you. It's grocery, it's by the grocery entrance at Fred Meyer's.
Thank you, David. Cheryl is up next. Do you want to talk? Oh, well, I have you down for the Christmas party.
Oh,
But
it's not too late. We still have the sign-up sheet. You can get signed up to, President Carrie Ann, fellow Lions, and guests. It is not too late. You can still sign up for our party. We're going to have a great time. Sharon's got the sign-up sheets right up there. And for people that are going to help set up, I think we settled on about 3 o'clock. You come in earlier, the house will be open, so come in if you want to get started. But most of the sign-ups, about the fix-up people are going to be here at 3, I believe. Anything else you want to say about the party, Sharon? We hope to see you all here. We're going to have a great time.
Can we bring our own bottle?
No, but the be open
Oh.
for the grown-ups. The littles are gonna be up front having their own thing going on, so we'll have a good time either way. So please, if you can come, we'll have a great time. Starts at 5:30, so if you get off at 5 and you wanna come in a few minutes early, that's great, come right from work if you want to.
How much does it cost to be a booster, Elsie?
That sounds like a lot of fun. Mary, hand that
Get season tickets.
microphone over to
Is that
Hey
for all
Bob.
the programs, or- Pretty good deal.
President Carey and fellow Lions and guests. First of all, I do want to thank everybody that showed up last Saturday. A bunch of them stood around the kitchen, but that was still fun. I'm never going to complain about too many people showing up to do these things. Second of all, we're cooking popcorn for the hospital called me anyway, and we're cooking popcorn Thursday for them. They want a couple hundred bags. I think I've got a crew lined up, but anybody else wants to show up 9 o'clock at the shop on Thursday, it would be appreciated. And Saturday is Castle Rock. I'm looking at the rain. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. So plan on it. And
It never rains.
it never rains, yeah. So,
Were you there last year?
Sharon has a response.
I was just gonna say, a couple years ago when it was raining, and let me tell you, we had some rain. We sold a lot.
Anyway, that's all I've got going on. That hopefully will be the end of it for the year. We'll go on from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. And then Greg Firth.
President Carey, fellow Lions and guests. Oh, by the way, Steve, there is hope for you in the basketball court.
I wanted to be the center, but they wouldn't let me.
Tomorrow evening, 6:30 over at Canterbury Park is our monthly Sight and Hearing Foundation meeting. Everybody is welcome to attend. Last month, Mike and Ben both showed up and see what we're doing. And we don't have a lot of applications for glasses and hearing aids this month, but if you want to see what we do, please attend.
By the way, John's talking short.